This is Yusuf from JohnTheHutDweller, who has been recently in a very long debate with James at Pandora's Box. James is a Valentian Gnostic who follows Valentius. Extremely smart. Me and him, I think, are probably the only two people that go back to original sources. I realized in your video you never use any primary sources. Valentinius accepted the canon and attended church. They were already kicked out of the church by the 2nd century. They were gone. They weren't none of the Gnostics were considered part of the church. You had Sabellianists. Later, you'd have Arians and Nestorians in the church, but the Ophites, which are also called Sethian, Manichaeans weren't Gnostics, by the way. They were a blend of Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, and Christianity. They weren't. They can't really be considered Gnostics. They're called Gnostic as a slander. I believe Marcion was called Gnostic as a slander, but in no way were they Gnostics, neither the Manichaeans or the Marcionites. Valentius's followers would not accept uh, the Apocalypse of John as us Eastern Orthodox do not accept the Apocalypse of John to be read in church. But they were opposed to things like Second Peter. Uh, Definitely, the Gospel of Matthew is out. They would have probably held to the Sermon on the Mount, but that's about it. As for a canon, they didn't have a canon. They were, I mean, Marcion started the debate about the canon between him and the Catholic Church. What is this proto-Orthodox you're talking about? Also, proto-Orthodox? So you're a Gnostic yourself? Think there's something called proto-Orthodox? Who was Clement of Rome? Who was Ignatius of Antioch? Who was Irenaeus? Um, these guys were somehow proto-Orthodox, along with Justin Martyr and Polycarp, yet they agreed on basically everything. Uh, you're using a lot of secondhand sources, seeing that you say Manichaean instead of Manichaean. You say Valentinius instead of Valentius. Uh, did you try to say Epiphanes? It was Epiphanes, not Epiphanius or whatever. Um, can you please make a video? And this is honest, because trust me, I've been dealing with Gnostics and people like Deist Paladin who didn't know what the Council of Nicaea was, thought it had to do with the Trinity or the canon of the Bible, which absolutely did not. It had to deal with refuting the Arian heresy. Could you make another video asking you politely, with primary sources, quoting Irenaeus, Origen? I don't know who Origen was. Origen, Justin Martyr, Polycarp. I'll give you any of the church fathers to work from. Can you please make a video with primary sources? Appreciate it. Peace to you. Again, this is Yusuf from JohnTheHutDweller. Check out Pandora's Box, James at Pandora's Box. He's actually a Valentinian Gnostic. Peace.